almost getting there. Most people eat a green banana, they don't get that full sugar satiation. And then they go, oh, you know, I'm hungry for the other stuff. It can be very frustrating at the start, but if you persist, you'll get the benefits. It's like going to the gym or doing yoga or being a runner. We can't just do it once and go, oh, it's not for me. We're going to try it. If we know in our heart that's the way to go, persist and you will be rewarded. Yeah, it's as simple as that.
What about like brewers use sugar to promote yeast in the brewing of alcohol? So
yeah.
Could you speak to that and why that's not occurring with fructose in the gut?
Well, when you have, I think I understand your question.
Yeah.
When you have sugar, it's a whole thing. When you have like refined sugar, it's refined. So the fruit has all its fibers, proteins, fats, waters, coenzymes, phytonutrients, plant sterols, all those things. When you have just like high fructose genetically modified corn syrup with herbicide, rodenticide, larvicide, suicide, genocide, uticide, when you've got all that, then it gets a bit whacked out. And people say, it's fructose, man, it's bad. Hang on, bananas got fructose in it, you can't eat bananas. It doesn't work that way.
So whole sugar won't necessarily promote the growth of yeast in the gut?
No, it won't, unless of course you add it with grains and lots of fat.
Okay.
That's why people have a big party, Christmas dinner, have heaps of stuff, and then they have some watermelon. Oh my God! Go to the hospital. Doctor's going, what did you have just last eat? I had watermelon, doc. They're like, you're allergic to watermelon. Other stuff's fine, you know. People say, Harley, you eat 70 bananas a day, what about potassium overdose? It's like, as the blood tests indicate, potassium level's fine because their kidneys always regulate sodium and potassium. That's interesting. The medical word for potassium overdose is called hyperkalemia. And this only occurs in patients with renal failure, meaning your kidneys just don't work properly. If you spent years on the piss or eating whatever. So you gotta eat a banana, your kidneys blow out, and they're like, yeah, banana. If I went out tonight and just started shooting up heroin, getting pissed, whatever, and just flailing around, end up in the hospital, and they go, what's he got? He's got a tattoo on his hand. It says vegan. Oh my God, he's a vegan, this is why he's stuffed up. They would forget about the heroin and there's a famous singer who's a heroin addict and is a vegan, or was a vegan. He hit a wall. People say, look at his vegan guy. Oh, we forgot about he does meth and heroin and lives a rock star lifestyle. It's because he's vegan. If a vegan gets hit by a baseball bat and the arm gets broken, it's because they're a vegan. You know? If I jump off this building and then head first to the ground and split my head open, it's because I'm a raw vegan. You know? It's the interesting society we live in. And you got to laugh at it, man. Because it's like, if you take it personally, you'll burn out. Our goal is to burn brighter. To become the lighthouse shining so brightly that our example is undeniable. Because who we are speaks so loudly, no one can hear a word we're saying. Any other questions?
Yeah, your experience with B12 is fascinating.
Yep, did you watch my latest YouTube video?
Yeah, I did actually, and I appreciated it. Yeah, yep. It was great. Yeah,
it's great. Like, I didn't know what B12 was really until I became a vegan. Like, as a omnivore cyclist, I sort of did vitamin pills and I'm like, yeah, there's vitamins, I'll eat that. And everyone went vegan, people were like, what about B12? And I'm like, B12, that's a B complex vitamin. So, yeah. So I did more research and I'm like, oh, vegans are deficient in B12 because they don't eat animal products. And I'm thinking, okay, interesting. Well, how come we have B12 deficiencies in meat eaters? If B12 was a vegan thing, then we wouldn't see B12 deficiencies in the omnivores. But we do. My housemate, Clint, in Adelaide, when I'm in Adelaide, he's a great guy. He's 100% raw, but he eats animal products, And anyways, got asked me, he goes, Harley, eating your rabbit food again? And I'm like, Clinton, eating your vulture food again? And, so he'll have steak every day, chickens, fish, eggs, dairy, raw ice cream, all this sort of stuff. It's cool, it's his choice. And his B12 was the same as mine before I started supplementing. It's about 140, 150, 160. And I was thinking, I'm an endurance athlete. I asked Lance Armstrong does B12 supplements. All the top riders do B12. And I was thinking, maybe I'll give it a go. So I started doing B12 injections. Didn't notice much of a difference. But I'm like, now I've got super high B12, so the next time I do a TV show, it's all good.
So just from fruit or what you're getting it from? It's supposed to
B12's produced in the body, but my body has a defect where it doesn't produce enough intrinsic factor, which I only became aware of because I was a vegan, because I got educated about B12 and did some tests. I'm like, hang on, my body doesn't produce intrinsic factor. Maybe supplementation is a good idea. And for me, and that's my recommendation. I used to be sort of anti-supplement, and B12 is the only supplement I can see of use. But I still think if someone's living an unnatural lifestyle, like heaps of stress, heaps of coffee, under eating, just living in big cities, they should probably address that first. You know, and I do a lot of sport. Maybe I do too much sport. Maybe I use up too much B12, trying to save the planet or whatever.
So you supplement B12?
Yes, it's the only thing I supplement with.
What about protein?
Protein, I mean, you put in a blood test and you get the same amount of protein as a competitive bodybuilder. Protein comes from fruit if you eat enough calories. Everything has protein in it. In fact, there's not a medical word for protein deficiency. And on my YouTube channel, I put up a $500 reward for anyone who can show me a protein deficiency. People say, what about marasmus? Well, that's caloric deficiency. What about kwashiorkor? That's caloric deficiency. What about hypoproteinemia? That's renal issues and it's excreting protein. But if you're not getting enough calories, you're getting enough protein instantly. Instantly. There's not a medical word for protein deficiency.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just asking you.
That's gone, just sort of random. But yes, so the protein we get it from fruits. What's the World Health Organization's recommendations for protein intake as optimum? 5%. What's human mother's breast milk in terms of calories and protein? 5%. What's average fruit? If you've got a mixed bag of fruit, what's the average protein content of fruit in terms of calories? 5 to 7%. So if you get enough protein, if you get enough calories for your favourite fruits, if you're getting enough, And sometimes I eat nuts and sprouts, but I even find they're too high in protein, they sort of slow up a bit. So I sort of ease up, have them every few months or once a week or something like that. It's too much protein in nuts and sprouts, I find. I prefer the fruits as dawn. And being an athlete, you can tell. I've got a little power machine on my bicycle there. It's like a $2,000 gadget, measures your power. So I know what's working and what's not. It's interesting. I did an experiment last year where I ate high-fat raw, and I couldn't put the power out. I was just like, oh man, I still feel good and that, but I just, wow, this is tough. I understand why people just faint on the raw food diet. And today I talked to people that said, oh, I tried that raw food thing, Harley, I'm double your age, I tried all that. It's like, did you really? Try as a lie. You do it or you don't. It's like saying, I'm going to have a drink. I'm going to try and have a drink. This is trying, That's trying. This is not having a drink. This is having a drink. You do it or you don't. Try as a lie.
Did you have any tooth problems?
When I first got into raw, I went hardcore with the nuts, and my teeth got a bit sensitive. But since then, I've eased up. I'll show you. This is a photograph of my friend who does a lot of raw animal products, and his teeth are, he's a young guy, I think 27, 25. And just teeth just fully, having challenges. Having pass this around.
What's his diet, sorry?
A lot of raw animal products, eggs, fish, just not too much fruit because he's into the low sugar thing.
So the sugar's in the fruit
Fine.
long term?
Fine. Because that's the thing. People go, oh, you're young, Harley, you're 32. Wait to be my age. Okay then. I'll fast forward to Doug Graham, Tim Trader, Roger Hesketh, Don Weaver, even Fred Mishi. These guys have got teeth. Good teeth. So if fruit caused dental issues, I'd have no teeth. Because I would say I'd eat, the most fruit out of anyone in Australia. I'll put my hand up and claim that. And challenge that, And my friend Grant, he's a top guy as well, he eats a lot of fruit and his teeth are good. But again, when he first went raw, he had some teeth challenges because he went hardcore on the nuts. Because people go, what's wrong with nuts? Because nuts are cool, but in limited amounts, because in nuts in nature you wouldn't find it all year round like you do with fruit. Nuts are pretty hard to get into, they're hard to find on the forest floor, but fruit's like in your face, it smells, it's vibrant, you just peel it, break it, eat it. Nuts is like cracking it, trying to find it, it's moldy, get the next one. So, no, Mother Nature's saying, with a nut, it's like it wants to preserve itself. If you eat all the nuts, you take out the tree, so the tree's going to give you some pain.